what happens when you lose one among these two paired organs? That is the eye and the ear. So when you lose one eye, then you lose something called stereoscopic vision. Just to explain, stereoscopic vision is taking two distinct images collected by the two distinct eyes and combining them together to create a highly textured picture, and it's the brain which does that. So under normal circumstances, one of your eyes sees a separate image and the other eye sees a separate image, but you'll not be seeing double because your brain will be combining these two images to create an image that is highly detailed and highly textured. That cannot be achieved with only one eye. So the difference between an image that is created by two eyes and an image that is created by one eye is the texture. In technical terminology, that one is called depth perception. And the whole process of combining two images into one to create a highly detailed textured image is called stereoscopic vision. Besides the loss of stereoscopy, you're also losing visual fields. So, under normal circumstances, the visual field of a human being spans out at an angle of 95 degrees either way. So when you lose one eye, then on the corresponding side that you have lost the eye, then the angle becomes reduced to 60 degrees this way. So that being said, how does that affect your day-to-day life? Your life still remains intact for the most part, but there are some few key aspects of your life that will see some suffering. For example, you cannot thread a needle very well. Another thing you can't do very well is either cap a pen, that is a biro pen, or cap a needle if you are working in healthcare. Another thing you cannot do very well, especially now if you want to be a pilot, is you cannot judge the landing distance very well. Another difficult thing that to do is to look at binocular scopes like the binoculars or the microscope. So that limits your ability to be a microscopist, so meaning maybe a high school biology teacher or a biology lab technician, or a lab technician in a medical lab, or an ophthalmologist or optometrist, because you have to look inside instruments that are binocular by design. For example, an ophthalmologist has to perform surgery using a binocular microscope. So now we go to the second organ, which is the ear. If you lose one of your ears, you cannot localize or locate where a sound is coming from. Now, the way your brain operates to locate where sounds are coming from is it calculates the difference between when the sound arrives in the first ear and when the sound arrives in the second ear, and also the angle at which it arrives to tell where the sound is coming from. That needs two ears to be performed. So if you only have one ear, then it is very difficult to know where sound is coming from. So meaning if somebody calls you, you'll be looking around a lot, being confused, trying to understand where the sound is coming from. Whereas somebody with two functioning ears will be able to tell immediately where the sound is coming from. One animal that has really capitalized on this superpower is the bat. And another one is the whale or the dolphins. So these animals use echolocation to create a complete picture of their environment. So their brain has highly developed temporal lobes which receive the sounds to a point whereby it's almost the same as the way the occipital lobe of a human being is developed, which receives the sight from the eyes, to a point whereby their temporal lobes can construct an entire image of the environment just from echolocation alone. So loss of one among these two paired organs, that is the eye and the ear, will lead to deficits that are severe enough to exclude you from these professions. More so if you have lost one of your eyes, and that is law enforcement, military, pilot roles, airport roles on the ground such as air traffic control, drivers of large vehicles such as trucks and buses, and some precision careers that require looking at microscopes such as ophthalmology or lab. But more so, military roles and flight roles are completely excluded. So for the other roles, if you train yourself well, then you may be able to do them, although with a lot of deficiencies compared to people who still retain sight in their two eyes or hearing in their two ears. Now you know the deficits that can arise when you lose one of these two key sensory organs that are present in your head. Thank you.